Okay guys, pick a card reading. I have 5, that's right, 5 groupings for you to choose from today. I have these beautiful coloured gemstones. The first is a beautiful white and yellow stone, so we'll call this the yellow stone for group 1. The second is the purple. The third is the green. The fourth is this beautiful light blue colour. I'm hoping the camera will pick up its beautifulness there. Beautiful light blue pale as colour there. And the fifth and final is the black. So pick your grouping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yellow, purple, green, blue and black. Timestamps will be in the comment strip down below so you can pick your grouping. We'll be pulling at the time from multiple different oracle, tarot, whatever we need. And this will be messages that you need to know from now moving forward. Messages of high prevalence for the year of 2023. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yellow, purple, green, blue, black. Let's kick it, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to start with that first grouping in a minute. So the camera is very much teetering on the very edge of life system support of the ledge of the viewing today. But it's not a bad angle, and it's the only angle I can sort of get my angles on at the moment, so it is very much teetering. The phone may fall. If that happens, we will just pause and recope. We may get some viewing of the floor perhaps today as we travel through. So we are going to do the first grouping, which was the lovely where we at, the yellow stone. Let's go. Sorry guys. Okay, we're ready to begin group 1. We're about to start with you. Messages now. High prevalence that you need to know throughout the 2023 year. Group 1, yellow. Let's go. And now, here we go. Wow. Alright, first grouping. I've just pulled your cards, and I want to say, I am going to probably clarify, but the cards inspired me just to start talking and running my mouth before the last card even dropped out of the deck. So we've got 8 cards in our underlying energy that you need to know or to be wary of. Now, I've got to say to you guys, there are 3 aces on this board out of 9 cards. Out of 9 cards, 3 of them are aces. 2 of them are major arcana. Sign of Aries and Cancer coming through for you today. And we've got a little bit of everything else going on too. 3 aces. Swords, Pentacles and Wands. Fire, Earth and Air energy there. There's 3 very interesting elements, especially because your fire and your air are kind of, well, they can make a bloody big fireball when they're mixed together. And when you add the earth into that, you've got the perfect ingredients that you need for the biggest raging fireball or fire inferno you could ever see. Earth, air and fire. No water. Nothing to douse it down. Nothing to... for new beginnings here. I'm just talking about these aces, not the rest of the cards, just the aces, guys. So let me explain what they are. I don't want to get too in depth with the initial explanations, guys, because if I clarify, the message is going to become so much more richer and maybe change its viewpoint or even message together. And I don't want you getting so confused by mixtures. I like to keep it to the point as best as I can and not beat around the bush too much. And sometimes it gets a little sloppy when too much is read first before clarification, if it's done. But I'm called to do it this way, so maybe I might not even clarify. We're winging it. This is a relaxed reading, pick of cards, guys. This isn't a formulated formula. This is how we flow. Alright. The underlying energy, which is the underneath, the underbelly, the foundation by which everything is grown from, built from, banked on. For you as an ace, it is the Ace of Wands. Now this is interesting, that fire energy is the whole breath that breathes and beats the underbelly of this reading. Group 1. Desire. Passion. Action. Hot. Need. Desire. Of the sensual variety. A fresh new beginning. All about what inspires, desires, and what you want to be, have, or attain, baby. Oh yeah, baby. Oh yeah. So it's all about, if it's not an oh yeah, baby, it's oh no. Now the cards that came out for the placements I found very... The first card beautiful yellows coming through here. I used the original Rider's Waite because I wanted to the reading to reflect the colours of your stone if it's coming through. So yellow, of course, group 1, there's a lot of yellow through here. First card was the Four of Wands reversed. Wands, fire, like your underbeating heart of your reading. But this is inverted. So they're saying that there's some sort of romance or connection here that has gone awry, astray, or is not in a satisfactory place at the moment. This could also be relationships within the home, because the Four of Wands, usually the 11-11 card, shows it coming together, the home, the connection, it all being on par and bliss. When it's inverted, it is not that. It is fractured. It is broken. It's not reciprocated, or it is just not in alignment. When we look at the second card to come through, and I'm sort of pairing these two together because it's important, we now have the Three of Cups reverse. So are lacking in abundance, prosperity, and or alignment within the home, connections thereof, and partnership. But with the Three of Cups reverse coming behind that, there is a real sense of not only not having resolutions or getting on the same page of merriment. There's a sense of hate with this. There's a sense of resentment here. There's a sense of, you're going to get yours, or you're going to get yours. There's malice here. Now, I don't know if that's because what you've received with this, like if this is creating malice for you, or whether it's the fact that because you've been hurt, you want to hurt those around you, and for them to get a little taste of their own medicine. I want to warn you about that mentality. It can come off very wrong when we wish for things like that and put that out. Do unto others as you want done to yourself, but don't go wishing willy-nilly that, Be careful of the words you choose during this time. Be careful how your actions affect others, and be careful how others are seeing you in these situations. There could be a misperception issue here, or there could be more to it. I don't want to bang on too much, like I said. But the next two cards, it gets even better. Pouring out of that, we now have the Ace of Pentacles, and backing that bad bitch up is the Ace of Swords reverse. These are your three aces now. There's a sense here, and these two, I believe, are a bit of a message together. With the Ace of Pentacles, there's a fresh new beginning in prosperity, monetary, or some sort of financial start. Also insecurity, the home, anything that is material, attainable, property, money, the niceties. There's a fresh new beginning or seed here that's to begin, and I feel like it has much promise of prosperity and growth and security, and to really be that leg up that you really needed. But with the Ace of Swords coming in behind that, there's a lack of force to be able to pull this off, or to bring it in, or a lack of triumph, or a lack of mental understanding and aptitude to be able to actually do this. Or there's some reservations there intellectually or in your mindset. You may feel mentally spent, or that you're putting so much into this that there's just no more to give. You've whipped the horses to the point of brutality, and they've been flogged. They're flogged. They're effed. And it was a much big sacrifice to be at a spot where you're stuck. You still haven't succeeded here, and you're losing ground. You're losing your mentality to be able to keep pushing through this disdain or discomfort or this spot. Moving on now, the next card to fall for you was the Emperor. Now this is where we find our big boy balls. Pardon the pun. But we do, and we grab them big and hard, because we've just found our masculinity, darling, and our voice might have dropped 10 pegs. But we got it in the bag, and we got it in the hand. This, my dear, is Aries major arcana coming through, reflected there of the ram on the throne. But it's authority. It's a commanding energy of an emperor, not a duke, not a prince, not even king. This is the emperor. This is the land. Right? This is the people, the places, the things, all of that. We all look up to this one. We go to him for counsel, advice, to act when no one else could. To be our saviour and our saint. The emperor is the most controlled individual over his emotions. He gets shit done. He pulls it out the bag every time. He knows the answer to the problem. He has the solution. And he does it with grace, dignity, and a little ego pointed in the bunch. And I'm seeing here you grabbing it by the big, tall and nasties. And really, really owning it, controlling it, delegating it. Really being the master of all slaves, basically. Pardon the terminology. We don't condone slavery here by any nature. We do condone helpers. The next card coming behind this emperor was the Six of Swords reversed. Now I find this very fascinating because when the Six of Swords is reversed, there's a lacking of ability to get headway, speed, force, or movement in something that has been leaving you unable to pass beyond it mentally in your intellectual mind frame for a long time. The anxiety always stops you making another step and beating this and getting across this issue and getting on the other side of the banks of this river Styx. You are stuck and it's banging your head against the brick wall. I just want to get through this barrier, this bad bitch of bullshit, but it's meeting you with the same result every time. Bang, bang. No access denied. It's bad, man. You gotta let me in here. Cancer's major now. The Chariot. If you need some adversity, you need some triumph, you need some balance, and to beat that bullshit, Cancer, major arcana, Chariot, will take you to your gate of next arrival. This is bringing in that adversity and triumph through all the displeasure, disdain, bullshit, and pushing right through it like driving a nail through a plank of wood. This is getting the mallet out and just banging it home. And it's being really guided on this journey. You're being pushed like wind behind your sails. You're being forced through and beyond to a point where things need to be realized and accepted. And that's the final message here that I've got for you guys with the 5 Cups. You can push through it all. You can meet your own self on the other side of the bank. But you cannot overcome that by which you will not accept and take atonement for in some ways. And that's where the 5 Cups come in. Because this is coming to that realization and being met with grief, real loss, and real sadness, and the realization of something that you've lost and cannot be returned. Whether that's the actual way it is or just the way you feel, it is that as such for you. And this is being so grief-stricken in this time frame, in this space of this period, that even though we have lost 3, we do still hold here 2. And we could take them 2 and start fresh in a new page, and we could make them other 3 up at the billabong. But you don't see that. You can't see that right now. You are grief-stricken. You are blanketed in black. You've turned your back to what prosperity or what remainder you have left of it that hurts you so bad because you can't even look at it. Because it hurts so damn fucking much. It's the beating heart by which you're broken, which has left you unable to look upon it again. I don't know what that means, but maybe you do, as this is your reading, not mine. Nice. My readings like twisted tongues. I don't understand anything that I'm talking about, and I watch it back and I think, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And then I get messages, people saying, wow. And I'm like, well, sure you're on the right channel. Sure you watched the right reading. Here we go. let's get a bit more clearer picture. So we're going to run back through these cards for clarification, which means these messages may change a little bit, morph a little bit, or might actually move into a whole other stratosphere of information. Please be mindful of that fact, that this is a more fine-tuned vision of what I've already said, and may therefore change the whole fucking thing of what I was just saying to you. So keep that in mind. Four of Wands reversed, we are clarifying. You're damn fucking right we are. Hear that crack out of it. That's determined, and that's a good card for that too. Let's go that 3 cups reversed now, Spirit. I need clarification of 3 cups reversed. Why is this 3 cups reversed here? You know why it's here, I'm hearing. You know why it's here. You know why it's here. Do you know why it's here? That was a very scary voice. 2 majors coming out to clarify, but I'm not speaking too much to that. Ooh. Ace of Pentacles now. Let's clarify that Ace of Pentacles, please, Spirit. Where's the Ace of Pentacles here? Because it's a beginning. I don't know, I'm hearing it. So I'm going with another major arcana, 3 major arcanas. Wow. And they're all star signs too. This is crazy. Ace of Swords reversed now, Spirit. We need to clarify this Ace of Swords reversed. Why is this Ace of Swords reversed here? Because you're lacking. You're lacking. Not a major, finally. Let's get that Emperor now. Any clarification for Emperor? Let's clarify this Emperor. Thank you. Interesting. 3 cards coming out to clarify that one. Let's go that 6 of Swords reversed now. Why is that 6 of Swords reversed, please? Clarify. That 6 of Swords reversed. Another major. The Chariot now, please. Clarifying the Chariot, please. Why is the Chariot here? Clarify. Whoa, 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 whoa. Barely, barely, barely. Final card to be clarified now is the 5 of Cups. Let's clarify that 5 of Cups, please. Clarify that. Whoop. Okay. We've got a new card in case you can't hear. Another major. Another major. Another major. Another major. Let's go through. As many of you know, if you're not new here, you know I do enjoy a bit of a death stick during the clarified explanations. So please excuse me if you're not a fan or flavoured to that custom, but I am, and I very much do enjoy sharing true parts of myself here on my channel, because I want you to get to know me as a person, not just as a tarot reader, even though I like that too. Let's reiterate the messages now in a more defined and refined way. So let's not get bogged down on what I've just said. Underlying energy for the reading that you need to know and keep in mind, that Ace of Wands with now the 9 of Swords reversed. Much passion and desire, fresh new beginning, and being very, very keen. The 9 of Swords reversed, there's still some sort of anxiety about an individual here around you, maybe someone you're entering in with this desire, maybe a relationship, maybe a business venture, it may be a few different options there. But there is a sense here of having some real worries, and those worries actually having some meat on the bones. That these aren't just, you know, out of the order. These worries that you have are actually justified. There is reason to worry, and it can't be ignored. But there's this beginning, this fertile, very fresh, funky, very desired start that is wanted, but there are some real worries, and those worries are being realized. They are actually warranted, if anything. Let's go through reading now. Okay, so that first placement, we've had that 4 of Wands reversed. This is then clarified by that popping card that came out like an absolute major kind of Taurus, the Hierophant. So the meaning is much the same as what I would have already explained to you with the 4 of Wands reversed. Some sort of disalignment here, not on the same page, vibrational pull with a relationship connection within the home. And this is something that you've sacrificed greatly for. And this is something that you spiritually built your temple around, whether it's a person, place, or thing. That's disaligned now. This is something that you really took comfort in spiritually, something that has grown and gone through cycles. It's something that meant a lot to you, and you gave gave a lot for, gave it all for, everything he could. And I feel like that's where the pain's coming from. This, the end of praying, that was the I'll explain as we travel through. Sorry about that. Princess Kitty has decided to come and join us. This is Princess, my first rescued animal that I took on a couple of weeks ago. I actually have a second rescued animal that came here just today, yet to be named, black and white one, which you may see if she comes up. She's very skittish, so probably not. Princess, she wants to say g'day. G'day. G'day, folks. One of the yellow variety. Second card we have is 3 cups reversed. This was then clarified by the Lovers reverse. This is Major Arcana now for Gemini. There is a lack of resolution, lack of letting go of it, a lack of being able to really have solace and resolution here throughout. Because this is not working. Lovers reverse is a complete dissatisfaction. It's like divorce. It's like I can't. I've got to break away from it. It's no good for you. There is nothing there. There is no empathy, sympathy with that 3 cups reverse joining this. Is a real resentment. Almost, it's real pain. Like they couldn't forgive or forget, and now they'll never ever let me sleep or wink. It's like almost fearing. Maybe this is why the Ace of Pentacles that came through, that I was so gloriously thinking of prosperity. The Major Arcana for Capricorn came out to clarify that, which is the Devil card. You are dancing here, very close to the licking flames of fire, in a new beginning of some sort of developmental of prosperity through material, money attainable to 3D, everything. Which one of yous was that? Was that you, my darling? Was that you, Queenie? Oh, that's Queenie. Oh, excuse me, I have to get Queenie. Oh God, apparently it would seem I've just named her, so we have Princess and Queen. Queen Princess. I don't know if that's going to stay, but we'll see how we go. I don't know. Darling, yes, there's mine. Well, that's actually group ones. The Ace of Pentacles with this Devil. This is Princess coming up to say hello. Sorry, guys, I'm not going to move her. It's lovely as she wants to get interactive with her. Oh, she's hissing at the camera, not at the other camera. Okay. Oh, that's weird. Oh, wow, she didn't have done that. Okay, sorry about that. The Ace of Pentacles with that Devil. So this fresh new beginning is really riding the Devil's coat to arms. I feel like you're being entered into something that's going to cost you a lot more than you bargained for. Not just you, but maybe yourself. Nothing drastic. Well, yes, actually, something quite drastic like that. I feel like you're entering into something whole much more than what you bargained for. And this may lead you to end up being a slave to the design of what was meant to bring in so much prosperity and happiness and make you miserable. Because the next card, the Ace of Swords reversed, that was clarified by the 4 of Cups, the Mayor card. So it's something that we are looking for, force or mental ability to be able to push forward from, attain, is making us absolutely miserable. The 4 of Cups is the Mech card. It's having prosperity, ideas, but nothing works or entices or even gives you enough flicker of a bite-sized biscuit to even want to get up and take a look at it. It's really being peeved to the point of boredom, to the point of dissatisfaction, to the point of only wanting to give it a half-arsehole try. It's really giving up for you to even giving it a go, in all honesty. Now, the Emperor you needing, my love. The Emperor here, next card, was clarified by much and many. Like the 5 of Pentacles, the Ace of Cups reversed, and the High Priestess. 2 majors coming through here. The Emperor, again, being that authoritative, commanding individual, hello beautiful, that really commands it, which really brings it forth and onward. That 5 of Pentacles, though, is having destitution and loss come from it. It's like being at the top of your game, commanding an army, but still living in the tent at Auntie Heather's house in the backyard. So it's like you could be the biggest, baddest individual maybe at the workplace, but when you come home you're the dog's bitch. You're less than the ant, you know, you really got nothing, no pot to piss in, basically, if you understand what we're talking. Oh, sweetheart, this is her. This is her. Don't shoot her, she fell down. Hang on a minute. Come, darling. Come. It's okay. It's okay. There we go. Sorry, we just interrupt your regularly scheduled viewing. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Sorry, we interrupt your regular scheduled viewing because we may have I don't know what a female cat or feline. I was going to say a bitch fight, but that would be a dog. Come here. It's okay. This is the new edition that's only come today, who's very skittish, sorry. This is who I just called Queen before, but has not been dubbed a name. It's okay. So we're working it out. We're working it out. We're going to be great friends here once we work it out. Sorry. So having some destitution or loss through that, and with the Ace of Cups reverse coming in behind that, there is a real sense here of being beyond dissatisfied, a real distasteful taste in the mouth. This is something that became unrequited. This is something that became so tainted, soured. It just lost its shine so fast. And the High Priestess is saying you've learnt much from this. You are intuitively knowledgeable now. There are things that you may not have seen before. Sorry, yes, I did just feed her a bit of pork. Okay, she likes it. This is really being guided. Yes, I cooked roast pork today just for the cats. That's what Mummy does. You're being so intuitively guided now through this experience. You've been opened to the veil that was otherwise a clouded, rosy-coloured mess. It has been removed now. It's been erased. And now you see in full colour all the hues of the reality of the situations and the individuals and the people, places and things, and that won't be silenced from your internal knowledge now, from your spiritual intuition. You've been lit like a beacon ablaze, and it cannot be distinguished. The next card, the Six of Swords reverse, was clarified by the Empress reverse, Venus energy there. This is, however, being met with some real crossroads that are leaving you to feel very unfertile and barren and lost. Like I said before, the Six of Swords reverse is having much anxiety, not being able to beat something, get on the other side of the river, and still not able to. And with the Empress reverse, this is leading you to feel very, very unnurtured, with an inability to nurture those around you, to be ugly or disbeautiful or dysfunctional or really barren, unfertile. There is no birth here. There is no growth here. There is no life here. It is barren. It is blank. And it's a sad realization. Next placement, the Chariot, is clarified by the King of Wands. So this is that adversity, that forward movement, that real duality of it all. And with that King of Wands, you know, this is someone that really knows how to bring in the desirable, who's very passionate, who's very smart, especially in things to do with the arts or creative inventions and adventures and all that jazz. Maybe someone that's very outgoing and really spontaneous or really adventuristic or really into some different sorts of shit. But this is someone that really takes appreciation in the original, unique and the finer things in life. And this is someone that's very passionate, very honest, very giving, very invested, very blah 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 blah. Great qualities. I think the kind of person that you need around you at the moment. Now this last placement is the balls. And this is the bits of the balls that you don't want. This is the liver and the kidney shit. The Five of Cups with Judgment in reverse and Justice in reverse. For Judgment and Justice, both here to come in for this very sad, grief-stricken card. Inverted is a massive fucking warning, and I need to put that in big print. Forget this reading. Fucking remember this placement and remember this, because this is the badass warning that this reading was actually invented fucking for. Yes. Burn this bitch into your brain. Burn this bitch into your brain. It's so gorgeous, right? Yes. Again, Five of Cups, grief, loss, real pain. Judgment in reverse is saying that you will not atone for this, you will not take on that responsibility by which is yours, you will not adhere to any judgment or any wrongdoing that you've done, or not take any responsibility. You wash your hands of it, you wipe away for it, and that, I don't care. But with the justice in reverse coming behind that judgment in reverse, this is biasm, bigotry, and severity will come from this for you, for not atoning and taking on responsibility for your part, your bit, blah, 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 blah. This is, the gabble will be, and a decision will be, and I don't know if this is resonating for you personally, but in court of public opinion, by God, whether you're right, wrong, or in between, they're gruesome. They will rip you to shreds, and you may not care about your image or the way you're seen by others, people, places, things, whatever. But I'm telling you, public fucking opinion does. And you can be crucified in less than a half a heartbeat second by someone spouting shit. Now, if these people were to say something of truth, for example, by God help you. Because you can't get that respect back once it's lost. And that's what this, I think, is about. You're not taking the responsibility, the atonement of something that was very painful for you. Is going to lead to a lot of bias and bigotry. And you're being dragged across the coals, perhaps. Whether they're right, wrong, or not. I don't think it's actually about that. It's about the fact that you couldn't express it, atone to it, or forgive it. And it led to a very big, enforced outcome that I don't think you'll thank anybody for. Isn't she beautiful? Isn't she lovely? Isn't she wonderful? I'm so sorry, I know, it's terrible. I have to sing for her, she loves it. Calms her down, she makes her do the little needy. I had a cat quite some years ago, she passed away quite a while back now. The first cat I ever had, a black and white one, very similar to her. It was called Reaper. I absolutely had her for many, many years, and I absolutely love her. I miss her still. But when I met this lovely feline today, this sexy beast here, straight away I thought of my Reaper. It made me feel sad actually, because I hadn't thought of her for quite some time. It's been gone for a while. Let's get into messages. Number one, the grouping. Number one, the yellow. What do you think about tarot, darling? What do you think about it? How do you feel about the same? Group number one, please. Messages for the yellow grouping. Sorry, my love. Messages for group the yellow. Yellow state. Thank you. Oops. Sorry, I just dropped the cigarette thing. My apologies, sweetheart. Just when she starts to get comfortable, freak of going. So we had soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. Separation, time apart from your partner is on the horizon, and codependency, addictions are affecting your romantic life. And I would say that would explain a lot. Soulmate, separation, codependency. It's a roundabout way of saying, let's go for a dance, let's step on your feet, I will apologize, we will do it again, and I will repeat the process. And we will all end up back at square one where we started. Because we're not bothering to learn the steps of the dance that we're trying to do. We're just going back through it again, like we'll just eventually learn it. And we're making multiple mistakes, and we're not atoning for that. That message at the end really has a lot here to do with this message here. So if it's your message, I think you will understand and you will know. If it's not, I think you'll know that too. Last message, a piece of pie for the first grouping. As this will be an exceptionally long reading, so I'm thinking it's going to be half an hour each grouping, 5 groupings, you work that one out. Exactly right. She's sitting next to me now. What love. Paradise, healing, heart, and talking. Happiness, expansion, joy, playfulness, oneness, enjoying each other. Healing heart, healing from heartbreak, freedom from toxic relationships or addiction. There we go. Talking, interested, conversating more, awaiting messages to arrive, text, call, email, hovering. So a little bit of boredom, a little bit of pacing back and forth, a little bit of waiting. but we are healing. We need to heal. That 5 of Cups, express that greatly, that loss, that heartbreak, not being there yet because we haven't started to heal because we're still dealing with the realization of the news, the gripping event, the life of it, the truth of it, the pain of it, and then moving forward from it. Maybe that thought alone is just too much to bear that cross on. But I want to give you a big virtual hug and send you a much needed kiss and tell you you're not alone, baby. And sometimes to the most painful and most heartbreaking and asshole events that happen to us in our life, as painful as it is, and as much as we are burdened by the bullshit at that time of whatever it is that's attaining for you. And even though that hurt and pain may never actually go away, you grow. You grow from the dirt of grief and loss and pain and sufferance and trauma. Just grow to the sun, not to the ground. We want to meet God, not Lucifer. Do you know what I mean? But it's your choice what way you go, like it is for all individuals here on this planet. Choose to grow to God. I'm not religious. I felt like you needed to hear that. Whoever God is for you. I'm going to leave it there, group 1. I wish you all the very best of luck. No, I'm with you. Light, love and spirit. Let's kick the bin of the biscuit and let's move on now to group 2. I think I need another one. Desk sticks, maybe something a bit stronger before we go. That one. Okay, my darlings, we are in a bad position here. Yes, we are. Oh shit, yes, we are. Sorry, I did warn you previously before that could be a possibility. Now it seems it's a freaking reality. Okay, now that she's righted that ridiculous shit, we are going to start with group 2 now, the purple stone. So group 2, this is your reading now. So this message is for now, moving forward into 2023, things of high prevalence that you need to know, may not know, you need to keep a lookout for. So don't mind that. Here we go. Right, group 1. I've pulled the first cards. There will be clarification. So don't get too bogged down on these explanations because the storyline will often morph, change when clarification comes through because that's a much more refined message. So keep that in mind as I explain. This will be a more brief description because as I said, I don't normally go too in depth before clarification because once clarified, the messages often change. So far, the underlying energy for you, for the reading, is the Tower reverse. Group 2, there is a sense here of a lacking of change, a lacking of transformation. There is much stagnancy here or repetitiveness of the same old rat and wheel syndrome, things not changing, not being able to bring in different outcomes, or things just repeating. Cycles keep going. First card that pulled out for your reading was 7 of Swords, the Thief card. There is a sense here of someone needing to save their own skin, whether that's you or someone you're dealing with in your perspective neck of the woods. There's a sense of some trickery being done here, or a sense of needing to take something before it's used against you. That could be information, that could be word of mouth, it could be an individual or an object. It just depends how that means for you. The next card, another conflicting card, was the 5 of Swords. Now this is the conflict. This is coming together and really battling it out with another individual over what it is that you're trying to bring in. There is a sense here that I feel that you may have victory actually over your combatant here on this particular point set. And this, I do feel, is a direct link to the 7 of Swords. So something is coming out, some sort of trickery, sleight of hand, someone needs to say they're singing, someone doing something a little bit underhanded. And it's the battle. It's the battle royale of the 2. Coming from that though, now we have the Knight of Wands reverse. This is a lack of forward movement, action. More importantly, it's stagnancy. It's also a lack of journey or change. And a lacking in desire in some way to even want to. Born from that is the 6 of Pentacles, and on the surface you may think that this is equal give and take, and in some respects it would be read as that. But I'm feeling here, especially with the cards that have come out born before this, there is a sense of what is viewed and what is really going on are not one and the same. There's a perception issue here. What is perceived as being very equal, very 50-50, in actual fact is you needing to beg, borrow or steal to actually be able to obtain that 6 of Pentacles. It's not fair. Even though it looks very equal-handed, it's very underhanded. Next card to come out was another 6 inverted this time. It is 6 wands. This is not getting any accolades from the crowd or support. Your peers, the public, friends, family, and anything else, they're not seeing not only your point of view, they're not supporting it. There is no accolades to be had here for you. If anything, it's almost a sense of only hearing like getting thrown under the bus. Next 3 cards were very interesting. The first one is the Queen of Wands. Now, she is very desirable, and she puts a lot of effort into those things that she desires. She's very warm, very loving, very gifting, often very much attained to the fairy fixtures of our lives. Animals tend to love this individual. And someone that's very warm and giving and gives a lot of their time and really helps people to grow from the soil. Next card is Libra's Major Arcana, Justice. And I feel from this, when we get into this Queen of Wands energy, there is much justice to be had. There is much fairness, much equilibrium. There is much justification. And from that comes Temperance. Sagittarius is major. This is the balance. This is bringing into fusion. This is the perfect alignment. This is blending, molding, flowing, everything in your environment and making it all flux in equal flow of yin to yang to equality. This is true equality. External, internal. From the outside, the law, to internal. I feel like from the storyline so far, from this trickery, this thievery, or whatever issue it is, it's really made you go through a big change. What was not able to be brought in through the Tower reverse was done through a set stage of sequent events, if that holds true to you. Born from this deception, trickery, bullshit, has come the change that you've wanted to bring in yourself, that you've not been able to up to this point, I feel. And I feel like this is a brilliant thing. This is why Spirit is telling you this message over anything else. It's because this is what you need to take from this. From the ashes rises the phoenix. And I feel like there is much to be born from this. So let's go through and clarify, and I'll re-explain, and we'll go back through and we'll do it all again, okay? Okay. So in the clarification, we only had one major come through. So I'm feeling like born from the major events are lesser events. The underlying energy now, that Tower in reverse, is clarified now by the 8 of Wands reverse. Much blockages, barricades, some by which you're putting up yourself. You really are isolating yourself from different outcomes. Underneath that 8 of Wands reverse is that 7 of Swords again. That is just impossible to miss. But we're actively blocking. We're not putting any fruition into things. We want them to die out or go stagnant or to be forgotten in many ways, group 2. Let's go back through it. So the 7 of Swords, this is clarified by the World in reverse. This cycle is not ending. If anything, it's very much ongoing. From this thievery, trickery, or someone needs to save their own skin, this cycle is repeating. It's something that this person isn't changing, and it's something that they're constantly always battling. That they need to save face, that they need to rob, beg, borrow, steal. There's a real need with this 7 of Swords individual, and it's a bit desperate. It's pretty desperate. 5 of Swords is clarified by Page of Pentacles. The battle. Going at it, being the victor or the dejected. I feel like you might get up actually on this and actually have a good point of view and actually be the victor. At Page of Pentacles, you are putting much time, effort and skill into the advancement in this, into proving your point, into bringing in security where otherwise the ground was shaky. The Knight of Wands reverse is clarified by the 2 of Cups reverse. Now, this is a lacking in journey or forward movement in a relationship, or something that was a commitment or a unionship of sorts that has gone south, sour, tainted, and it's fallen to the floor. There is no growth here. There is no desire to grow it anymore, and it is being marched out stage left. 6 of Pentacles is clarified by the 2 of Pentacles reverse. So that equal give and take that looks so equal, like I said, is not. With the 2 of Pentacles reverse, there is no agility to handle this matter. There is no growth. There is no agility. There is no ability to be able to even this out. It is at one side killed. And there is a sense that this is just unmanageable, yet unchangeable. and it's putting you in such a tough spot, not just financially, but in many other aspects of life too, I want to say. The 6 of Wands reversed is clarified by 7 of Wands reversed. Now, this is a massive message, because not only do we not have supports from the support systems around us, the public, our friends, family, people in general, we're also not getting above or making any ground against our combatants or those that don't agree with us. We're not winning them over, people. If anything, we're giving them good reason to continue their way of thinking, feeling towards the situation or us or whatever it is in general. That's concerning. The Queen of Wands is clarified by the 10 of Swords reverse. So that's where this warmth comes in. The change of character, excuse me, change of character, really being warm, invested, and proving that there is much growth in self, as well as you can promote a lot of growth around you. With the 10 of Swords reverse, things have been very burdensome, and there is no gains, no profit, or no benefit from continuing that way. There's been much ruin, much pain, much embarrassment, I even want to say. But from this can grow a lot of understanding. Justice is clarified by the 9 of Swords. What we get in justice is fairness, impartiality, and real equilibrium. What we fear is a lot of anxiety about what the repercussions of that fairness or equilibrium actually means for us as an individual, what our part was, what we played in it, and what our comeuppance, I guess you could be from it. Finally, Temperance is clarified by 3 of Pentacles. So from that fusion of moderation and using everything in and around you, fusing it, using it to your highest of good and to your best of ability, bores the 3 of Pentacles. Now, this is much growth and great collaboration, getting on the same page with someone else and actually being able to make, do, invest in something that's going to create a lot of growth. It's going to really give you that leg up that you've always maybe needed and never actually had. And this is going to bring in much insight to you. And it's going to make you even more secure, more level-headed, and much more empathetic as well to others, I feel. Like Queen of Wands really stands out as a fixture here in this reading. That there is much change, personal growth from these sticky situations that you may be facing. Additional messages now for group 2. We have released your ex. The time has come to clear your energy and passion. Allow your heart and soul to sing with joy. From release comes sometimes the greatest of gifts. Freedom. The freedom to be yourself, learn about yourself, and to grow yourself, group 2. And I feel like that's what this reading's all about. From the ashes pours the phoenix. It's the kickstart, the change that you've needed, wanted, desired, never been able to attain. It's going to fuse itself into you through the set of circumstances that you're going to deal with. Group 2, please. The Grim Reaper. The relationship is over. No second chances. Grow and transform your life. I shit you not. What did I just say? What did I just say? What did I just say? Redski's on our game today, bitches. What did she just say? Word for word. Grow and transform your life. Bitches, what did I just say? What did I just say? That's your message that you need to remember, keep in the back pocket, and don't forget. The change that you needed is coming. Group 2, that's all I've got for you. We'll now prepare for group 3, the green. Ladies and gentlemen, a beautiful group 3, the lovely green stone. This is your reading for messages of high prevalence now and throughout the year. So in case anyone was wondering, the new cat that was on display during the reading earlier, last night, I got her yesterday, I found a name for her. Her name is Spirit, so Spirit and Princess. Okay, group 3 of the green gemstone variety. So we've done the initial reading. I will clarify. So these messages are going to change. So don't get too bogged down or too with what I'm about to say now, because as I clarify, these messages may morph, change, or just become more refined in general. Anyway, so here we go. The underlying energy so far for this whole period is the Page of Pentacles. Really putting up our skill to get advancement here, more knowledge, more security. It's all about learning and growing. So this Page of Pentacles is really offering oneself to get more skill, advancement, knowledge, key to the castle of well-being through skill advancement. Putting in the effort,
doing the hard yards, lickety-splitting it, and getting the advancement. Getting some skill here that we may not have had before. Let's get into the actual reading now for group 3. The first card to come out was the 8 of Wands reverse. So the initial reaction with this is, whoa, we are putting up blockades here. We are not communicating. We're dropping all lines of communication. It almost feels like Mercury retro, kind of like everything's discombobulated. Everything is lacking in any kind of fluency, or everything's truant. Everything's late. Everything's out of sequence. Everything's misunderstood. No one understands where I'm coming from, and no one gets my point of view. It's just rough. And I feel like you're like putting up the stop sign saying, no, I know at the moment things are testy and a little bit unstable in their veracity, and I don't want a bar of it. So I'm just going to put the stop sign up, and I'm going to say, no, not for me. Next card was the 5 of Cups reverse. So this is really dealing with some loss and grief here, and trying to put a positive spin on it, like, you know, the glass is still half full mentality, even though you are dealing with some real heavy issues here, with some real emotional attained issues here that are really leaving you to feel very emotionally dissatisfied in the way of loss, grief, really grief-stricken, I want to say, for some of you, a real heartbreak. Next card to come out, and it makes me feel like this 5 of Cups reverse could be in relation to this, the Knight of Cups reverse. Whoops. Which I just decided to lickety split him across the room. You probably might want to too, because this is a player. This is someone that has no care or regard for other people's feelings. They want what they want. They do what they do. And I feel like this was an individual that you were very, very susceptible to, that you were very, very taken by, taken in, really lost, you lost yourself in the connection perhaps. The next card to come out is Leo's Major Arcana. It is a strength card. So this is really needing to have the tenacity, the courage, the strength of will to move forward, to use what you've got left, the bare bones of it, and to manage that with perfect fusion and alignment, and not giving any extra energy to it, just using what's been gifted to you to your highest and greatest of way. The next card to come out is the Knight of Pentacles reverse. Now, I don't like this either, because we've got 2 knights here, and I feel like 2 parties may have come in to try and swoo-woo you, and both ended up in absolute disaster. With the Knight of Pentacles reverse, there is a sense here of stagnation in Rita. No movement, no ground to be had. In fact, it is absolutely barren, sterile, no movement. It's stale. Coming in after that is the Emperor reverse. Now, this is Aries Major Arcana. It's also an individual that's lacking in authority, lacking in leadership qualities or ability. Someone that's quite weak-willed. Someone that's quite lacking in courage. Lacking in a lot of qualities, in all honesty. This is someone that doesn't back themselves, so no one else will back them. This is an individual that's broken. This is an individual that has no sense of self-warrant. It's an individual that is won't stand up for themselves. Coming in behind that is 3 of Wands. Now this is waiting, sitting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away, and waiting for the big bad boat to come in with our Pentacle. We're waiting for this desired opportunity, investment, payoff, person, place, thing, to finally get its ass across the finish line to us. We've been waiting a very long time. We are getting quite exhausted standing here, wasting our time, we're feeling like, because the last card so far is the 9 of Swords. Much anxiety, much worry, sleepless nights, head in hands, head a million thoughts a minute, can't get out of your head. Real worries here. Real worries about an individual close to you, or yourself, or both. I'm going to kick it back through now and clarify the reading, and then explain the placements again with more refined, I hope, yeah, more refinedness. Let's refine the let's do that. Oh, and the clarification reaps much of what I've already said, but in more congruent consistency. We've had cards come out in placements that are literally telling a story like a picture book here. I've got images that link up together. You understand, the 5 of Cups reverse was clarified by the Knight of Cups. The next card was the Knight of Cups reverse. This was then clarified by the 5 of Cups reverse. That there is consistency beyond consistency here. Duplications and reciprocations of information is coming through here. It's a much message of a connection that has gone awry, and it has been with bringing you much pain, much discomfort. I actually want to say there's maybe even a couple of suitors here, because clarifying that initial Page of Pentacle underlying energy, we now have Gemini's Major Arcana, the Lover's Reverse. Trying to have skill in understanding how to make it work, because it's always not working. Every connection, every relationship, every it ends in dissatisfaction, disunionment, divorce, or almost feeling like it's disembowelment. It's brutal, it's painful, and it's constantly consistent in the fact it fails and fucks up. I'm seeing group 3, you are fucking sick of it. And I don't blame you. But I can't understand where you're coming from. I've been there, man. And that's honest to God truth. I've been there. And it's hard being alone and not being able to connect. And every time you try, you get used, abused, or really mistreated. And it really takes a toll on you, on your personality, on... You don't get knocked down so many times before, you don't want to get back up again. And I feel like the energy of this reading is much like that. And I really know this energy well, because I've actually lived it myself quite some years ago now, but it was a very tough time in my life. I'm ashamed to admit it, I don't speak much of it, because it was brutal. It was brutal for me personally, it was brutal for my ego, it ripped me to shreds. But it made me doubt myself as a human being. It made me doubt that I was worthy of life. It made me doubt that I was meant to be here. And that can be a bad road to go down, ladies and gentlemen. If that is a message for you, I'm here to tell you, don't do it to yourself. Back yourself. When everyone else fails you, fucks you over, or flies away, be your own saviour. You tell yourself that you know that this sucks and that it is unfair and that you do deserve better. Give yourself a hug, or hug a pillow or something, just to give you that feeling of comfort, which we all need so badly when we're alone and going through stuff. And tell yourself, yeah, you are fucking worth it. Fuck that shit. Give it the middle finger in the mirror. And do it on your finest clothing. Put on your makeup or your finest cologne or whatever you do to spruce yourself up to make you feel good, even though you do not feel like doing it. And walk out that front door. Even though all day you've been telling yourself that you can't muster up the strength to be able to walk through that invisible barrier that seems to be penetratively keeping you in of this invisible cage that you feel slave to. That, ladies and gentlemen, I know all too well. Let me get into the reading now. So the 8 of Wands reverse was clarified by the 2 of Pentacles reverse. So this is a real sense of, like I said, putting that stop sign up, blocking, no communication here, really not putting anything like that into fruition. We actually want to block it, stop it, put a pin in it. With the 2 of Pentacles reverse, there's a sense of lacking in agility to handle any of these matters right now. Communication, people, places, things, it's all too much. We just need to drop that pentacle and let it all go. We can't deal with it right now, can't attain it right now, we can't control it right now, and we just can't stop. You know what I'm saying? Stop. This is where it gets really interesting, group 3. This is where it gets really interesting. 5 of Cups reverse, clarified by the Knight of Cups. Loss, grief, real dissatisfiement, and real dissatisfaction. But trying to have that positive spin with the glass half full mentality to hope to bring in a different outcome, even though you're dealing with the same bricks and mortar and bullshit every day. The Knight of Cups. Now this is an invitation, advancement, an individual proposal coming in, offering something to you, and you being rather taken by it. You looking at this like this is the bite of the apple that I've needed. This is the upward swing that I've needed to get myself out of this funky shit and really pull my ass out of the depression or bad issue or blah, 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 for you. And that's when the real shit happens and really takes a hold of you. The Knight of Cups reverse with the 5 of Cups reverse now. Do you see what I see now? This is crazy. In case you missed it, let me repeat it.
I was just doing what you were doing. I'd rather learn by practicing. Then I'll practice with you. Come on.
This is an individual that you once thought was quite delectable. Now you've been taken by or taken in. Has turned, shown true colours, and done you dirty wrong. 5 of Cups reversed. We're still trying to have a fucking hopeful outlook at this. Don't want to admit the fact of all this grief, this loss, that this is what it is, but you are trying to be positive. You're trying to stay positive, spin it. You're heartbroken. You're absolutely brought to the banks of where it's all born from, all the sadness, all the pain. The next card, Strength, was then clarified by Temperance in reverse, Sagittarius major. So we have Leo here and Sagittarius coming through. It's time to have tenacity, strength, will and grace. Be brave. Don't use excessive force. Use what's gifted to you to your highest and most fulfilling of good to get the outcomes that you need. But by God, don't be impatient. And don't be unbalanced. Don't be unhinged. Don't be overcompensating. Balance needs to be restored here, and there is a massive imbalance which is still consistently coming through this reading. The Knight of Pentacles reversed was then clarified by the 7 of Swords. Now this is stagnation, not moving forward. This is really being in a state of embrita in the bubble and just not being able to move forward. This is because of some sort of thievery, trickery, deceit, someone needing to save their own skin, someone throwing someone under the bus, someone taking advantage of someone. And it's left it at a standpoint, stand still, can't move forward, can't go back. The Emperor reverse was then clarified by the Page of Pentacle upright now, which is the underlying energy for the reading. The Emperor is, of course, Aries major arcana. No will. No leadership quality. Lacking in masculinity of being able to take control, be the provider, be the go-getter, commanding, authoritative. No respect for this individual is there. The Page of Pentacles, this individual is trying to learn the skill to handle their shit, to get hold of the ship and control it, maintain it, but they're just lacking in the ability to be able to understand it, let alone attain the knowledge that is needed to fulfill this duty, or this obligation, or this job, or whatever it is for you. There is a lacking here, a massive lacking. Now this next placement is huge, so we're going to take a minute in explaining it, because it's a lot. The 3 of Wands was clarified by the Chariot reverse, Cancer's major arcana, the 2 of Swords reverse, and the Star reverse, Aquarius's major arcana. 3 of Wands, like I said before, waiting on the dock of the bay, watching the tide roll away, waiting for these ships to come in. This payoff, this desired outcome, waiting so long for this, it's really starting to get a little bit annoying. The Chariot reverse is saying last minute, at the cut of the die, there will be cancellations of plans. This is going to fail. It is going to fall. 2 of Swords reverse. This is going to lead you to need to accept that this was a mistake, it's a loss, and there is no affiliation or affection towards this anymore. The Star reverse is coming to the abrupt realization that our hopes, our faith, our wishes were not fulfilled. We've lost faith in these things now. We do not dare dream again. We do not dare dream again. Last placement now, the 9 of Swords clarified by the 3 of Pentacles with the Strength card in reverse. Leo's major again. The 9 of Swords, as I said before, is having much anxiety, all up in our head, real worrisome, not sleeping well. With the 3 of Pentacles, we are coming into collaboration or communication or developments here in a fundamental way that might actually grow some sort of monetary benefit. But we're lacking in the strength, the will, or tenacity to actually back ourselves on this. There's a lacking in self-love or self-backing. You're not backing yourself enough. You abuse yourself, others will abuse you too. People tend to treat you much more worse, like amplified to the way that you treat yourself. If you don't treat yourself well, you treat yourself poorly, then others are going to do the same, if not worse. Messages now of additional nature. Forgiving and learning. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in your present moments. And I feel like this is a real message that you just need to listen to. Forgiveness, learning, healing of self, of understanding, and growth. Massive message for this grouping. Massive message coming through for this grouping. Final messages now. We have the soulmates and cassette. Soul connection, partnership, agreement, soul contract, outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over and head, and oh my god, that's like the 9 of Swords as well as. This speaks really of You feeling like there's an agreement, that you are in some way not honouring it, but needing to realise that this is outdated thinking, this is old way doing, this is out of time, fashion, and it's no good for you. It's not serving you no purpose or glory.
Mom.
Thank you, group 3. We're going to leave it there with the green stone. We will now move on to the 4th grouping, the blue stone. Okay, group 4, for the beautiful blue stone. Now this is a beautiful pale blue stone. It is absolutely gorgeous. I'm hoping camera can pick up some beautiful imaging there for you guys so you can actually see the stone that you chose, because it is absolutely beautiful stone. So group 4, the blue stone, I'll pull the tarot, explain, I'll clarify, go back through, re-explain, so don't get too bogged down in the first explanations, because they often change, morph as the story develops and refines throughout the process. And then we'll get additional oracle at the end as your message to keep in remembrance. Alright, group 4, the blue stone. The underlying energy so far for the reading is the 2 of Swords reversed. This is a real mistake, a real loss, and a real need to understand, accept, take hold of the fact that something has gone wrong here, or you made it a poor choice, or there was something that you were at the crossroads of and you ignored, and now you wish you didn't. Sorry, there's an ant crawling across stage left. Excuse me, I'm sorry, but I cannot deal with ants. I just cannot deal with ants. They drive me nuts. So apologies. Beginning of the reading, we do start off with the Ace of Swords reverse. This is lacking in force, truth, championship, triumph. We're lacking in any sort of force, any sort of drive, any sort of even motivation to speak, to move, to do. We want to keep it quiet and under the wraps. And I feel like this is something in regards to a relationship, marriage, or situation, or spirituality. The Hierophant, Taurus's major coming through here. It's a lacking of truth, or a misrepresentation, or a mistake in regards to something that you believed in, something that you adhered to, something that you chose to submit to, sacrifice for. And you sacrificed greatly, I want to say, for this. Next we have the 9 of Cups reversed. This is a real mistake, a real loss, a real understanding of that, and a real distaste for this. But boring from that is the King of Pentacles reversed. Now this is someone very corrupt. This is someone that is mischievous. This is the WhatsApp scammer in the comments. This is the Ponzi scammer. Someone in the dark lair somewhere with a computer taking money from, you know, China and putting it into Barbados. You know, this is that little SOB that keeps scamming and scheming and stealing from you. This is a corrupt son of a bitch. It's very much all about making money off your dollar, not of their own. Next, even more dismay and disgust. 5 of Swords reversed. We've been dejected here. We are losing this battle. We went hard, furious. We used every part of our intellectual playing field and everything that we had in our bag of tricks, sorry. And we were dejected. We were pushed off. We lost. And this was thievery. 7 of Swords. This was real thievery. This person did this to save their own skin. They threw you under the bus. This was an exceptional act. And from that, I feel like they may come back. There's a situation here where there's some sort of Page of Cups, an offering here. A small one. A token of an olive branch, perhaps, is what I'm hearing. And finally we had finally we had the King of Wands with the Knight of Pentacles. Now this is saying, fuck that. Either way, A to the K. I'm standing in my desired truth. I'm invested. I'm strong. I am able. I am fucking hot. And I am moving forward methodically when I so choose to, not when others choose to move me. I am my own person, my own player. I feel like there's something really going on here with another person. Maybe a few people. We do have a king, 2 kings here, 2 suits. There's something really wrong here. And the reason I'm saying that is because something that we really held ourselves accountable or part of went wrong, and it's all sent everything arraying wrong. It's sent an echo across everything, every aspect of your life, and it's kind of imprinted it with a real sadness. with a real disgust, with a real brokenness that it's permeating you and going through every part of your life, and you're ricocheting on. You've hurt people. And I'm worried about that. This could be kind of where this reading's going, in all honesty. A broken man breaks down, you know? And this is kind of what I'm feeling. But we're going to clarify now. Oh boy, this is going to be something else. So we started with that Two of Swords reverse, and this is then clarified with 10 of Pentacles reverse. Due to a mistake, due to not making a decision, it led to a massive loss. A loss of security, housing, monetary goods, services. You lost more than anyone should ever have to lose. It was too much. With that underlying energies, you know, there really is a sense here of mistake and loss due to a bad choice or not making a choice at all. And this has led to much loss in the riches, housing, security, monetary, of every aspect of life. Let's go through the clarification now. Ace of Swords reverse with the Wheel of Fortune reverse. Lacking force, truth, honesty, movement. And this just feels like everything is just not only not moving, but it's like everything is bad luck. Everything's tainted, everything's cursed. You feel really cursed. The Hierophant with the King of Cups with the Six of Pentacles reverse. This is really sacrificing muchly for an individual. Someone that was very warm, very emotionally invested. Someone that was very, very charming, very delightful, very open, very honest, very equal, but they quickly changed into an individual that was very inconsistent, an individual that was very needy, especially around monetary, someone that may have needed housing. They moved in and you couldn't get them the fuck out of your house. Someone that kind of used you for your standing or your position or your security. The Nine of Cups reversed with the Nine of Pentacles reversed. 2 nines inverted. This is very sad. This is not having nothing in self. The Nine of Cups reverse is really accepting the fact there has been many mistakes, lots of loss, and what your part played in that, and how damaging that's been to you emotionally and physically. And with the Nine of Pentacles reverse, it's realizing how damaging that is financially, and really seeing there was some roguity here, seeing where it went wrong, seeing the parts that everyone played. King of Pentacles reversed with the Star. The Star is Aquarius' major arcana. Because you were dealing with someone that was very corrupt, very, very seedy, WhatsApper, scammer, real Ponzi prick, someone that really, really was a bastard, or a bitch, or whatever you want to call it. But this is still attaining your hope, your faith, even though you've been done dirty, even though you've been burned to the bridge, even though there's nothing left to save or sacrifice or anything. Not a pot to piss in, as they say. We are not going to lose hope, faith. We are still going to have them qualities. If anything, we're going to cling even harder and hold on to that even more vigilantly. This is very interesting. The Five of Swords reverse is clarified by the Five of Wands. Losing the battle. Losing, being dejected, pushed out in the cold, or pushed out off the banks of this river. But knowing that there's still battles to be had, because this is going to be ongoing. There's going to be much more contradictionaries, much more battles to be had, where we've got to fight, continuously fight. Even when we lose, we still have to fight. What are we fighting for? It's the sense of Seven of Swords, Eight of Cups. This trickery, roguery, someone needing to save their own skin has really come at a cost for you, and you've had a bloody effing gutful. Eight of Cups, you're walking away. No matter what prosperity or advancement or whatever is left in the cup to be had, to be drank from, you don't care. You're emptying it, you're walking away from it, and you're putting it in the sink. You don't want a bar of this biscuit anymore. Page of Cups, clarified by Queen of Pentacles reverse. This was someone that came in with very acceptable. Someone that came in with a real offering, being very charming, a younger individual perhaps, who turned out to be full of self, Queen of Pentacles reverse, and only doted on self-needs, self-gratification, egotistical purposes, and growth of self through monetary advancement, not for a moment's pity for those around them, but they would expect them to pay the balance. King of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, an individual very strong, very charming, very charismatic, that is moving forward methodically, with security, and will bring in much gifts of plentifulness when they get there. Clarified by the Four of Cups and the Hangman inverted. It's all just meh at the end of the day. Nothing entices. You're giving up on even seeing anything as a option. the Hangman is saying that you're trying to gain some sort of knowledge or wisdom here, but it's just not sinking in. All the experiences you've gone through, you've not attained a goddamn piece of a nuts, biscuits, knowledge out of it. It's all like a sieve. And we'll repeat the cycle again, where we're meh. We just end up meh at the end of it. Nothing is satisfying this craving itch for love or connection or acknowledgement. I want to even just say acknowledgement. You just want to be acknowledged, you just want to be understood, and you just want to be equal. Equality is key here, I feel. And the lack of equality you feel. And the lack of, of understanding. Let's get the additionals now. Let go of control issues. Allow the situation to unfold naturally, and that's the problem. In some ways, we've got to let go, let it release, let it run its course, deal with it in its due diligence as it comes about. Stop stressing about what is to come. And I know you're stressed out just by the situation in general, and I don't blame you for that matter. Final additional now for the grouping 4 of that beautiful blue stone. I love it. Final message now. I like you, someone likes you, romance is blooming, fun, flirting, want to date, and that's what I think. You want these things. You haven't found the necessarily right person, and you've been taken in by some pretty seedy sort. Don't lose hope, don't lose faith, believe in yourself. Group 4, thank you. Final grouping now, group 5, the black stone. 5th and final grouping now for the picky card reading 4 messages of high prevalence throughout now in 2023 year is the black stone. Now, I don't think this camera is going to pick up the absolute gorgeousness of this actual stone. It is crazy dark up in there. It is crazy dark up in there. It is a crazy beautiful stone. Love it, love it. Group 5, 5th and final, 5th and final. 5 is my lucky number, so let's 5th it. Let's find out what your messages are through the tarot. We'll then go through and clarify, and then I'll do your additional from the oracle. Remember, the first explanations before clarification is just a guideline. The messages do become much more refined and better explained throughout the clarification, so make sure you stay through to the end. Don't get too bogged down by the initial explanation. As I said, this is just the initial. When it's clarified, it's much more refined, much more directed at a specific honed in message rather than a generalization, which is what I'm doing initially. So don't get bogged down, wait till the end, get all the messages, make your own conclusions, take what resonates, fuck off what doesn't. I wouldn't want anyone taking on any additional baggage. This is a general reading, so treat it as such. Group 5, here we go. Alright, 5th and final grouping. Let's try and bang this one out in a decent form. The underlying energy for Rings of Fire is the Ace of Cups. Fresh start and beginning in love, romance, real championship here, real affection, real affiliation, real sense of love, devotion, sentiment, real loved up energy here. The reading, however, does not correspond to that underlying energy. I'm just going to tell you flat stick right now. It starts off a bit like the last reading I just did. 2 of Swords. Now, this is being at the crossroads, really feeling a little hoodwinked. A decision is needing to be made here, and we are really at the crossroads, feeling a bit blindsided, feeling a little hoodwinked, and not really knowing what to do. We know what we'd like to do, but we're not sure if that is the right thing to do. With the Page of Cups reversed, this is in regards to an individual, someone that may be a bit younger than you, someone that is you're very seduced by, very, very inclined by, very, very deviate towards, very, very, yeah, you want a beginning here. There's a big desire here to want to attain this person, place, or thing, or whatever it is for you. Really wanting it so bad that you want it so damn bad, you want it so damn bad. From this though is born judgment, and this is atonement, needing to repent, forgive, forget, and really take on all by which is your responsibility, what your choices led to, what outcomes, how they affected you, those around you, and all by which that has been born from that. There's a real sense of needing to atone for a lot of things here, internal and external. And this is what fears you the most, 9 of Swords. This gives you much anxiety. You fear the truth of the atonement, of the actual real rawness of it to ever be known. There's a sense of real fear here, real scared. The Tower. Where's fear coming to light? And it's going to make everything crash down, all your security, every aspect of your life to fall apart. Leading to 4 of Cups. Everything's so goddamn meh. Nothing entices you, nothing intrigues you. There is no love here for anything anymore. Finally, 3 of Cups reversed with the 6 of Wands reversed. There is a lack of consolidation, resolution, lack of celebration. Because there is a lack of common respect, I even want to say, which I really wouldn't say with that card there. Common respect and admiration for each other, or ourselves. There's a real sense of disalignment around those around you, public opinion and or things of that nature. There's a real sense of being made example of perhaps in the past, or just being ridiculed by public opinion and or others in general, or family, friends, whatever it is for you. And you're so damn sick of it, you do not trust it, you won't have a bar of it. There's a sense of real dissatisfiement, real disgust. I want to say that word again, and that's very, yeah, 8 of Swords reversed, wow. Feeling imprisoned by the ship. Let's clarify. Now with the knee, clarified underlying energy, that Ace of Cups with the Hierophant reverse Taurus is major. A new beginning that you wanted in love, connection, relationship, which you sacrificed greatly for, but did not come into your spiritual alignment, or it was a relationship where there was a commitment which soured as quickly as it was sown. There's a sense of wanting to give all, but receiving nothing. Dismay, displeasure, destitution. There's a sense of really giving much more than many and receiving much, much less. Alright, fifth and final group, let's go through these placements. Re-explain. It's real disheartening. Holding that Ace of Cups in one's hand, wanting so much to let it overflow and be favourable and peaceful and consistent. But getting something that you've sacrificed greatly for, you've emptied your cup over, and they still are wanting more. Let's go through the clarification reading now. 2 of Swords is clarified by the 8 of Cups. A decision, being at the fork of it, needing to make a choice, feeling very hoodwinked, feeling very dismayed, and not knowing mentally what to do. When we're faced with such adversity, what else can you do but just walk away? Just flat stick, walk away. And admit to yourself, if it is only 8 and not 10 that is here, then nothing is there to be seeked. It's just not worth it. Page of Cups reverse, clarified with the 8 of Swords reverse. Someone that you were very, very, very inclined to be seduced by, enticed by. Someone's a bit younger. The 8 of Swords reverse, you felt imprisoned though by this connection and or individual. In fact, you kind of were. There was many fears here, and many of them have now that you look back on the situations, realise that you had every right to be fearful, because there was much to be feared. This Ace of Wands is clarified by the 9 of Wands and the Knight of Swords reverse. This fresh new desired beginning is quickly turning into a fucking nightmare. With the 9 of Wands, there is obstacles that you have gone through and more obstacles yet to come. There's a constant barrage of bitches and bullshits, and you're constantly with your front foot at the ready waiting for the next battle of royale. It's a constant management to deal with, to battle it and to get beyond it. With the Knight of Swords reverse, there is a sense here of not knowing something, a lack of knowledge, a lack of forceful movement, a lack of bravery, and a lack of backing of oneself. There is a lack of knowledge here, but most importantly, there's a lack of force, there's a lack of bravado, there's a lack of action. You know things, but you won't act on them, or you don't know nothing and you're not willing to look at it. Judgment is clarified by the 8 of Wands reverse. Again, here we go. So judgment, needing to attain the real absolution of self through your choices, your options, how that played a role on your part, their part, the whole works of it. But the Ace of Wands reverse is really telling me there's undesired outcomes to come of this, lacking of action, lacking of understanding, lacking of beginning. There's a lacking of a fresh, new creative invention or beginning. The 9 of Swords reaps the Fool reverse. Many worries, staying up all night, really, really stressing, and there's a sense of being very neglected. Let's continue with those messages. The 9 of Swords with the Fool reverse. Real anxiety, not sleeping well overnight. Really not being able to get out of this rut and wheel syndrome as well, of a lot of fears, not sleeping well. The Fool in reverse is really saying we are being very foolish, we're being very frenziastic. We're being really throw it into the wind and wonder why things are happening. Not taking responsibility, being very neglectful. The Tower, Knight of Cups reverse, clarifying. Wowee, this is a whole nother kettle of fish, people. The Tower, it's all coming down quicker than a baked sale, regardless whether we wanted it, wished it, willed it, it's coming. We can't control it. We can only hope to weather as best we can. With this Knight of Cups reversed, there is a real sense of being taken for a ride. Everything's falling down due to distrustful belief or emotional attainment or attachment into an individual person, place or thing. This is also lacking in any type of emotional investment to want to move forward too in many ways. With the Four of Cups clarified by the Nine of Swords again, meh. It's just led to a lot of unhappiness, and even if there are options still on the table, you don't want to bar of it. It's really soured you to the whole experience of it. With the Nine of Swords again, all up in her head, not sleeping well, real anxiety, real worries, real fears, reasonable fears. Then we have the Three of Cups reversed with that Six of Wands. Like I said, a lack of resolution, a lack of movement forward and consolidation and celebration. With the Six of Wands reversed, there is a sense of no one understanding, reciprocating, or being on your side. Clarifying this was the Ten of Pentacles reversed with the Page of Swords reversed. Loss of monetary riches, as well as housing, as well as security in general. It is all being stolen, taken, or lost through this situation. With the Page of Swords reversed, there is a sense of lacking in vigilance, lacking in understanding of what's going on around you, reading these subtle cues of maybe body language or what is not exactly said within the sentence. It's more what's left out. The phrases, the articulations. Be more mindful of these things. Be much more open and much more honed in on things people say and don't do, or vice versa. Be a bit more disconcerting of people. Be more cautious. And I hate saying that. Girl with a snake. Empath and narcissistic peregrine. Being charmed or used, enable boundaries. And I feel like this is the charmed and being dropped faster than a hot sausage. Dropped you like a hot sausage. They dropped you like a hot sausage, my loves. I'm sorry to give this news, but this is what it is. Final messages now for the fifth and final grouping, the Black Stone. Thank you everyone so much for all the groupings joining me today. Please leave a like, comment if you would so choose to, and subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. Hit that big red for red. Soulmate. Yes, this is your soulmate. You, my dear. You are your soulmate. Do what is best for you. Attraction. You attract romantic love by enjoying this moment fully. Enjoy yourself. You are your soul. You are the key. You are the most important thing. Do due diligence to self. Self-love. Preach that higher than any high octave. Treble clef mother. Break glass, bitches, and be badass while you're doing it. Make no apologies. Be you, beautiful, whatever that is for you. Dance like no one else is watching. Thank you all groupings for joining me. Redsky here on Righteous Rings. Raw, Righteous Real. We're done. Isven, thank you. And I'll see you on the next round with me, Redsky here. Righteous Rings, Raw, Righteous Real. Bye, my loves.